You could swallow a metal and feel absolutely nothing, at least at first. And that's exactly what makes this so dangerous. Because the moment you think you're safe, something invisible has already started. This is gallium, a metal that melts in your hand, a metal you can touch, a metal that looks harmless. But what happens when it goes inside you? And more importantly, what happens after? Because the real danger isn't the metal itself. It's what your body turns it into. And that changes everything. Imagine holding a small, shiny piece of gallium. Cool, solid, almost like a coin. You place it on your tongue. Within seconds, it starts to melt. Not from heat, from you. Your body temperature is enough to turn it into a thick, silvery liquid. And this is where it gets weird. It doesn't just melt. It spreads, coating your tongue, your teeth, your throat. A metallic paste sliding deeper inside. The taste hits instantly. Sharp, sour, unnatural. You try to swallow. It resists, just slightly. Heavy, dense, unfamiliar. But eventually it goes down. And then, nothing. No pain. No burning. No warning. Just silence. So now the question is, did anything actually happen? Or did you just get away with it? Because what comes next depends on how much you swallowed. Inside your stomach, the gallium settles. Still liquid. Still quiet. And for a moment, your body treats it like it doesn't exist. Which sounds impossible. But here's the strange part. In tiny amounts, gallium isn't toxic. Right now, inside you, there are already trace amounts of it. From water, from food, from the world around you. Roughly 0.7 milligrams. So if you swallowed a tiny piece, your body might just ignore it. No symptoms, no reaction, no consequences. It simply passes through. And that's the illusion. Because it tricks you into thinking, maybe it's safe. Maybe nothing will happen. But that assumption is where things start to break. Because gallium isn't dangerous by itself. It's dangerous when your body decides to interact with it. And that depends on one thing. How much is inside you? Because once you cross that invisible line, everything changes. And that's when chemistry takes over. Not outside. Inside you. And what happens next isn't something you can feel right away. But it's already begun. Your stomach is not passive. It's a chemical reactor, filled with acid strong enough to break down food and metal. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because gallium doesn't just sit there anymore. It reacts. Violently. With your stomach acid, it forms something new. Gallium trichloride. And that's when things start to spiral. Because this compound isn't harmless. In fact, it's toxic. But that's not even the craziest part. The reaction doesn't stop there. It also releases hydrogen gas. Inside you. Slowly building. Expanding. Looking for a way out. And this is where it gets weird. You might start burping. More than usual. Passing gas. More than usual. And technically, yes, it could even be flammable. But that's the least of your problems. Because while gas is escaping, something far worse is staying behind. The gallium trichloride spreads, touching tissue, irritating everything it reaches. Your throat starts to burn. Your chest tightens. Breathing becomes different. Not impossible, but wrong. And that's when you realize, this isn't stopping. It's accelerating. And your body is losing control. Now imagine this happening at a larger scale. Not a tiny amount, but a massive dose. Around 140 grams. That's when the reaction becomes overwhelming. Because inside your stomach, that amount can produce over 300 grams of gallium trichloride. Think about that. You swallowed one thing and created something even more dangerous inside your own body. And this is where everything flips. Because now it's not just irritation. It's damage. Severe chest pain hits. Sharp, sudden, crushing. Your throat feels raw. Every breath feels heavier than the last. And this is where it gets terrifying. The reaction doesn't just stay in your stomach. It releases fumes, toxic fumes, that move upward into your lungs. And once they're there, everything changes. Fluid begins to build. Breathing becomes a struggle. Your body tries to respond, but it's too slow because the exposure keeps increasing. And then, something even worse begins. Your muscles weaken. Movement becomes difficult, then impossible. Paralysis starts creeping in. And that's when things changed. Because now you can't escape it. You can't react. You can't even call for help. And your body is still producing more of it. At this point, your body is overwhelmed. Oxygen levels drop. Your lungs fill. Your chest tightens further. And your mind starts to fade. Not instantly. Slowly. Confusingly, you're still conscious, but slipping. And here's the part no one expects. You didn't feel it coming. There was no clear moment, no obvious warning, just a quiet beginning. That turned into something irreversible, unless help arrives immediately, because without intervention, the outcome is almost certain. Loss of consciousness, respiratory failure, and eventually, death, all from something that felt harmless in your hand. And that's the real danger. Not how it starts, but how easily it hides what comes next. So the question isn't just, what happens if you swallow gallium? It's deeper than that. If something so seemingly safe can become lethal inside you, how many other things are we underestimating? And more importantly, what's already inside you right now, just waiting for the right conditions to change?